If you go to the bank and you just ask for a bunch of dollar bills, maybe $50 in singles or $100 in singles, you can search for them and look for these valuable errors on your dollar bills. So let's just hop right into it and check out this first dollar bill. Now this first one here is a gutter fold error. Now this bill is not in the best shape. You can definitely see that it's been circulated. It's got creases in it. It's not by any means a very high graded bill or anything like that, but we do see that gutter fold taking place here on the left side of the dollar bill. So we can see the line there where it goes through the serial number and the design of the bill. That is where the paper was folded, and then the bill was printed as the bill was folded. That's the gutter fold error. So this bill sold for around $65. Let's move on to another bill. Now this next one here is also in pretty, not so great condition, I mean, it's not in the worst condition, but it's definitely not in great condition by any means either. This is a 1974 Federal Reserve notes. Now this $1 bill here has an inverted overprint. So we see that the seal and the serial numbers are upside down and on opposite sides of the bill. So always check your bills for that. Such a simple type of error to look for on any type of currency, really. So always look for that. Now this dollar bill here sold for around $260. Moving on to a $2 bill. Now we're mostly going to stick with $1 bills in this video, but we do got this $2 bill here. Now this one here is a misalignment error. So you see the serial number here on the right side. It is kind of like over printed on the Washington DC there. It should be a little bit higher there. So always look for these types of errors also. Very simple to look for. It can definitely be passed up if you're not really paying attention. So this $2 bill here sold for a little over $65. Alright, so this next bill here, of course, it's going to have a little bit of value just because of the serial number on it, 883-00388. So this is a radar serial number, so always be on the lookout for that. But this also does have an ink smear on the face here on Washington's forehead. So always look for ink smears as well on your dollar bills. $20 bills, $5 bills, any, not just $1 bills. So this is a 1977, and this Federal Reserve note sold for around $50. So nothing too valuable, but still, hey, it's $1 into 50 bucks. Moving on to a 1977. Now this one here has a misalignment overprint. Now you can see that the serial numbers are not aligned. The seal here is not aligned with the word 1. So this $1 bill here sold for around $50. Again, it always depends on the condition of the bill as well. If this was in horrible condition, it wouldn't even have sold for 50 bucks. Now next one, this one is very unique and interesting. This is a 1981 Federal Reserve note. Now this bill here has a printed fold over error. So you can see that crease there at the bottom where it's folded over. That is really awesome. I like this. Man, finding something like this is probably going to be very difficult, but this $1 bill did sell for over $800. That's right, over 800 bucks. And we see that here on the reverse as well, so that is really, really cool. Absolutely love that error. Now this next Federal Reserve note is a $5 bill, and you can see that it kind of looks really dark and almost doubled, and that's what it is. It's got a doubled first print. It almost looks like 3D in a way, kind of. So that's why it's like really dark and black there. The ink has been doubled. So that is what's going on with this bill. You see here on the back, it looks perfectly normal, but this $5 bill did sell for over $700. Next up is a bill where I've shown in my other currency videos. If you haven't seen them, be sure to go check those out on the channel, or just type in rare dollar bills here on YouTube. You'll find those videos. Now this is a mismatched serial number, so I've mentioned this in other videos. Now you start off here on the left, it starts off with 988, and here on the right side of the bill, this serial number starts off with 998. So the 8 and the 9 are different. So we got a mismatched serial number here because of the 8 and 9 are different there on the second digit. So always check your serial numbers, make sure they match. If they don't match, then you could be talking some money, especially this one. It's in great condition. This dollar bill sold for over $350. Next up, one of my favorites of the video, we see this is a 1981 Federal Reserve note. Now this one you see here on the left, serial number looks totally normal, but here on the right side, you see that 7 in the middle is up higher than the rest of the numbers. So this one here is actually a stuck digit. And this dollar bill sold for around 80 US dollars. See, most of these are so simple to look for. This next one here is a 1988 Federal Reserve note. Now this is actually a web note. If you're not familiar with web notes, be sure, like I said, to go check out my other videos. Here on the reverse, I'll show you there's going to be a number right there above the E, and then there's going to be a little number here above the 5 here on the front. That's how to tell if you have a web note or not. Now this bill here, it also has a minor over inking, and that's taking place on the letters of the United States of America. You see that black over inking there on those words? That is what's taking place here, and this dollar bill sold for a little over $90. Moving on to a not so great condition bill. This is in pretty, circulated condition here. I don't know how this thing stayed out in circulation for the amount of time that it did to get in this condition, because look at the seal, man. That is so noticeable when you're going through your bills. Even if you're like glancing through them, I mean, it's so really noticeable. Look at that black seal there. That is a misalignment error, and this dollar bill sold for around $65. Now this is a pretty self-explanatory error. We just got a misalignment back printing. You see how the one side here is cut off, and then the other side we have all that space as a result of the error taking place. And this dollar bill sold for around $60. So you can really look for that on any type of bill that you find. Next up, another misalignment error taking place, pretty self-explanatory. The 1995 dollar bill, you got seals and serial numbers misaligned, and this dollar bill sold for around $165. Next up is a another 1995 Federal Reserve notes, and we see here that there is some back printing here taking place on the front of the bill. We see the reverse design of the bill here on part of it, and that is an offset printing error, and this dollar bill sold for over $125. Next up is a $100 bill from 1996. It is a misalignment error. You can clearly see that as the whole design is not fitting on the bill, but this $100 bill did sell for over $300. Triple its value. Now this next one here, this is a fold over error as well. We see here on the left side of the bill that error taking place, and this dollar bill sold for around $185. Next up is another bad condition dollar bill. This is a butterfly fold error, and we can see that there again on the left side of the bill, similar to the last bill, and this dollar bill sold for around $40. Now had this been in much better condition, it would have probably sold for a lot more money. Moving on to a dollar bill that's missing the overprint, so no seals, no serial numbers on this bill, and this 1988 Federal Reserve note sold for over $280. Now this one's pretty cool. This is a 1981 dollar bill, and you can see that the seal and the serial number that's supposed to be on the front of the bill is printed here backwards on the reverse of the bill. So that is pretty cool. Always be on the lookout for strange types of errors like this. This dollar bill sold for over $90. Moving on, now this one might be one of my favorites of the video. This is a printed fold over error taking place. And here on the left, you can clearly see that the seal and the serial numbers are not straight. They're diagonal a little bit, and they're not in the right position. And then here on the right side of the bill, you can really see that the seal was actually split as a result of that fold over that took place. So that is really cool. And then you can see that the serial number is up there going through the word America. So that is really awesome. I love this type of error. This dollar bill sold for over $400. 400 bucks. Next up is a 1977 $1 bill. Now this one here is something that you may pass up. You might really not notice this unless you're actually looking for it. And all it is, it's a simple type of error. It's just an insufficient inking error on one of the numbers, the digits in the serial number. So you can see here on the right side of the bill, it ends in 1C, and you can very faintly see that 1, and then here on the left side of the bill you can see that again. You can kind of see the 1 a little more there on the left side of the bill, but that is supposed to be a full 1 in the green there, and then the C, but you can kind of see that it's faded out, and that is the inking error taking place. So this $1 bill sold for around $50. Again, nothing extremely valuable, but still 50 bucks for a $1 bill. Alright, now this is very noticeable here. You can see at the top of the bill and the bottom, it's not cut exactly right. It's not printed right. We got an inverted overprint taking place here. You see the seals not aligned right and the serial numbers upside down on the wrong sides again. So that error will give the bill some value, and you can see that this one has definitely been circulated. I can't believe it made it out in circulation that long to get in this condition. But this $1 bill did sell for over $190. Don't forget to go check out my other currency videos to the left of me. Until tomorrow, I'll see you on the comment section below. This is Couch Collectibles, and this is where I disappear.